Hey everybody, welcome back to part 5, I think. I kind of lost count, but I am sharing with you that I made stack books and I did write dimensions down so that way I can create another video and share with you the dimensions and make one with you. And I'm sharing what I put in the first little book and now the second. And I made everything pretty much with you minus the Maggie Home flowers because when I was making them, my phone did not record. And this is what's going to be going in the bottom one and what I will be making with you today. The bag toppers, which to me, honestly, is probably the hardest part. And there I go in an awkward position trying to share with you the top of the books. And it's a long process because I honestly never have a clue how something is going to come out. So I am just setting up what I might use, getting all my scraps together, and, getting all the things. And I was looking for my puffy stickers, but I can't remember where I put them. I have a huge mess on my desk currently, and I don't have the time to clean it right now. I just needed to craft because it's Saturday, and on Monday I start school and, make a whole new thing, a whole new schedule I have to create. So I'm thinking I'm going to use doilies. So I go ahead and kind of match up the colors with the bag toppers that if I do use them, those are the colors that I wanted to use with them. But like I said, I always pull things and look at stuff and, sometimes I don't even use them. In that little container or that little tray that I have there, I have the rest of the ephemera pack. So that way I can go through. And right now I am going through all the ephemera pieces to choose basically the pieces that I feel like I can use. Or some of my favorite pieces as well. Or sometimes ones that I really want to use them. I just don't know how I'm going to use them, but just in case. Okay. I do have a couple of mini rosettes. I don't use those as often anymore because sometimes they're really hard for me to use them. Like when I'm embellishing, unless I'm going to use it as an embellishment itself, it's really hard for me to use it on something. There is a doily that I think I wanted to add in half. And I'm pretty much just using, and I could have sworn I had the chipboard for this collection and I looked and I don't have it. So I went ahead and pulled, what is it? I pulled, oh my goodness. Why is it called Splendid? No, you guys, I am drawing a blank. I'm sure you know the pieces. I know one is something Grove. I feel so dumb right now because I know collections like the back of my hand and I'm drawing a blank right now. Parasol. Okay. It's Parasol and is it Garden Grove? Oh man. I have issues today. Let me go see what it's called because it's going to drive me crazy. Woodland Grove. There we go. Woodland Grove. Okay, I was using Parasol and Woodland Grove chipboard. And I just chose some of the pieces, you know, that went with the pastel colors and everything like that. And some of the smaller pieces. And here I go, just layering things, putting things on top of each other, taking things off. You all know how the process works. I do that with all of them until I feel like one is like moving along quicker, and then I focus on that one. It's almost like when you get like an aha moment, like, you know? So I just wait until I get that little click in my brain saying, okay, this is what we want to do. And then I start from there. So this is pretty much my whole process of how I do everything. You know, embellishments, decorating stuff. It's the same process for me. And die cutting is like the easiest part because, I mean, you don't really have to think about it other than like what patterns you want to use. So that's pretty much the hardest part about die cutting is just choosing the colors and the patterns. But when it comes to decorating, it's definitely a lot more challenging. And I like to layer and embellish, you know, but I don't like to overdo it because I don't know, that's just not me. As long as it has some dimension and your eye is kind of flowing throughout the whole project, then that's my goal when I'm crafting. So I am starting with that word, and I have already popped that up on foam. And I'm using that deer. I think that deer is from Parasol. And just making sure that, you know, I put the foam adhesive where it should be. So that way it sits on top. And I will be using a lot of mini flowers that my bestie Lori gifted me. And then also using a lot of like mini bows that my other bestie, Jeanette, gave me as well. To me, those are like my staple to have in my collection because you just need that little extra umph. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot of little things, you know, and sometimes it's just all you need is a little flower or a little bow or enamel dots, and that's it. That little bit of umph will make your project look completed. I'm adding that tiny little bow on the neck of my deer. And what am I doing? Okay, I grabbed some paper punches because I needed like little filler pieces and I needed butterflies. Probably butterflies and like little stems and leafy things are like the number one thing that I use the most, along with my circle punches and stuff like that, but they are my favorite. And anybody that knows me knows that if I am making a bag topper, it's always gonna have pom-pom trim on it. So you can already see that I have my trim right there in front. ready to go. And I went ahead and used the same color for all of them, just so that way they kind of just flow together. Not necessarily going to be used together, but when I'm gifting it, I need some sort of, what is that? Just some sort of matching. That's not the right word I'm trying to say, but they have to have some sort of similarity to make it, cohesive. There we go. That's the right word. I need it to be cohesive so that way it's looking like a complete set. And I figured if all of them have the pom-pom trim, then you know that they all go together. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks like that. I mean, sometimes it drives me a little crazy when I'm crafting and I didn't do that. Even though, I know and you know that we are not going to use them all at the same time, so they don't need to be matching. But in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even make it cohesive and I didn't make it look like it belonged together. But I've been finding little things like that to make my brain kind of settle down. Even though the person I end up gifting things to, or the people that I end up gifting things to, I'm sure probably can care less about it not matching. So here I am. Which back topper am I working on now? Okay, still the same one. The deer. And I recorded all of the back toppers, I think, except for 3/4 of one, because the video, you guys, I don't know why it does that. It's always the third or the fourth video that decides to not save and upload. And when I'm recording, it's in 10-minute increments. So I have to make each of them 10 minutes. And it could be less, but normally it's never less. It's always more. So the third and the fourth one always get missing. So there's my pom-pom trim. It makes me happy, honestly. When I'm seeing this with you right now, I'm like, yes, the pom-pom trim. And normally I put the pom-pom trim at the bottom, but since I love the scallop, I didn't want to ruin that. So I put the pom-pom trim at the top. Which one am I on now? Okay. This is fun. I'm actually pretty proud of myself, to be honest, because I thought this is going to be a heck of a lot more challenging. I mean, trust me, I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? If you would have heard me in real time, you would have been like, oh my God. Because I was like, oh, but do I want this? Do I want that? I don't know what I'm doing. That's pretty much, I was just talking to myself. But I had to just do a voiceover. My husband is home. He's going to be home for about a month or two because he is hurt. So it's going to be hard for me to record in real time without doing a voiceover. So this is the one that it recorded some of it. So that butterfly, hopefully you remember that butterfly ephemera. It was more squared off, but I had chopped off the top because I wanted that chipboard banner to go over it without it popping out from behind on the other side. So I went ahead and cut it off, and then I layered a pink rosette behind it and let it pop out from the bottom. So I added more dimension on the back, and I am popping it up. Once again, the little leaf sprigs, just to give it a little something, something. And I am adding gold flat back pearls, adding the pom-pom trim. And chopping off all the long, what is it? The strings from sewing. How many more do I got? Oh, I think I have 2 more bag toppers left. So this is the one with the umbrella. So when I was telling you that I chopped the butterfly ephemera, I was telling you because don't be afraid to make the ephemera work for you. If you have to chop something, cut it in half, whatever it may be. Just do whatever works for you. Oh, wow, it's just a piece of ephemera. You'll find ways to use it if you don't use it for that specific project. After I put that ephemera down, I was like, I need something from behind. It needed something. And then I got an idea. To cut one of the ephemera pieces. Because there was like a little tag. That one with the little rainbow. And I just wanted the rainbow. So I just popped it up behind it. Because after rain comes a rainbow. And then I seen that there was the little word in perfect usable condition. So I went ahead and snipped that to fit my project and put it at the bottom where I felt like it needed something there anyways. And I know because I sped everything up, you really didn't get a chance to see the sentiment. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it slows down a little bit towards the end so you can actually see what it says, because I can't even remember. I put another little bow on top of the umbrella, and I think I'm going to add some more flowers. And I think I add some more gold flat back jemmies. And adding my pom-pom trim again. I knew I wanted that word to be like the center, but I needed some background like pieces to just make it pop a little bit more. And there I go, try to use that small rosette again in hopes of, just try to give it a little bit more dimension. Oh my goodness, my throat. More foam tape. And I'm trying to find a spot for that butterfly because I know I want to use it. Okay, so I put it there and it was sticky on the other side. So I got my powder tool to make it not sticky anymore. And I know I wanted to tuck some type of floral or a plant or something on the side, on the right side of it. So I found that little plant. And then I wanted that circle, but I snipped a piece of it because I didn't need the whole thing. And I think, yep, I add more of the gold flat back pearl things. And then I use one of these Bow Bunny flowers. Adding my pom-pom trim for the very last piece, or the very last bag topper. And it is done. And now I'm going to show you all of the bag toppers. Hopefully I don't go too fast. Oh, and I found another sticky that needed powder. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.